Welcome to the virtual campus for the National Center for Integrated Emergency Response. When you log into the campus, you'll load into our grand lobby, and on the morning of your class, your instructors will be waiting to greet you, just as Harry and Brandon are here this morning. The instructors will answer any questions you have and take you on a quick tour, but that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to kind of move around here to give us...
Now, when we look at some hints in the intelligence unit, the first thing that we have to really assume, and I think that this is standard for most positions in the active shooter incident management, is that there's going to be overload. You're going to have information that's coming in, and it's going to be overwhelming. So that information, and the best way to do that is utilize the contact teams to exploit pocket trash from the suspect.
For the students when they get to the reunification site. And oftentimes we're going to have an off-site reunification location in a school violent event because the school that just was impacted by this incident is now a crime scene. So our first scenario this morning is going to be at the Montgomery County Courthouse. Again, we'll all stay on channel 7 until you arrive on scene. Law enforcement will go to 1 and fire will go to channel 2. Our first arriving officer for our first scenario this morning, 108, Mike Galvin, you here with us? Yep, gotcha. So same thing, you arrive on scene, switch over to channel 1, and you will work your way back to room number 8 on the Counter-Strike board. Our tactical for this one, 104, Fitzgibbon, and okay, gotcha, sir. Right. Everyone else remain in the auditorium. Stay on channel 7. If we get our dispatchers up to room 12.
All units in Squad A, we received a panic alarm at 58 Broadway County Courthouse. Received security panic alarm. Map page 246, grid Bravo 6.
108 to dispatch.
Go ahead, 108.
Be 10-9 on location. Any update?
Update, shooting in hallway near main courtroom by bell tower. Description is shooter male, dark skin, dark hair, dark pants.
1, engine 2 on scene. Staging.
10-4, engine 2.
You're going to make entry. Where do you want to enter? Right here? Okay. So we're going to move you in there. Okay, go.
Engine 1's going to take staging.
Yeah, engine 1
Todd's
staging.
doing triage. Okay. So Todd, if you've been assigned triage, you can just head over to that room right there.
Yep.
And you're on engine 2, right?
Staging.
Yes.
Wayne, you could probably tell them you're on scene and you need to know where to link up.
Okay. For contact 2, I'm thinking about having our contact team going to the north side of room 35.
Okay. All right, sounds good. Contact team 2, have you given the information to link up with you at the front?
Contact team 2 is now with contact team 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I
sounds
told
like
them we're in between 31 and
Tactical
16.
copies.
Perfect. Okay.
Contact 1 and contact 2 are together. We're going to be moving towards the north side of room 35 to engage.
All right, 10-4.
Robert, your contact team 3. What are you trying to do? What do you go ahead and call the other contact teams and let's see what you do here.
Contact team 1, this is contact team 3. I'm coming on scene. Where do you need me?
Contact team 1 to contact team 3. If you want to enter towards the north side, continue straight to the courtyard. It is to direct east of room 35. If you want to hold there, so we both have good angles. It won't be a crossfire.
Roger that.
Yes.
114 to dispatch.
Ken, it's Todd.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Todd.
Go ahead, 114.
Hey, so
I'll be on location, assuming command.
Basically, I'm gonna wait until we get RTFs in there to get.
Copy, assuming command.
So tactical is about to get hopefully an update on how many injured they have, so we should have that for you in a
Threat
second.
and how many injured you've got, casualty-wise.
And who else do we have?
You
We
got
Chief
Todd here for
Hannigan,
triage.
Tactical is trying to get some information now on the number of injured and where the CCPs are, so we should have that.
All
hopefully
units be
shortly.
advised, I have a 911 caller saying that they saw the shooter get out of a red
You
car
got
with
walked
another
over.
male.
Could you give me that again?
All right, so you got
All units be advised, elapsed
all right,
time
you got
10 minutes.
113 here
10
and
minutes for
115
exercise.
here now, Officer Malik. So let's make them RTF1. Use one of them. Officers, we got 113 is in here now. 109 is in here now. So either one of those can be, or 115. Any one of those that you decide, Officer Malik, to be RTF1.
For one, I have 3 reds, 1 green, 3 survivors.
Bill, I've got
All right, you got
3
3 reds
RTFs
and
ready.
1 green. Now you've got 3 reds, 1 green in the casualty
reds.
cluster.
Okay, we're up to so we're up to 3 reds, 1 green.
Dispatch
Tactical.
from
3
tactical.
reds, 1 green.
Copy. Copy.
Go ahead.
Casualty collection point now be 3 reds, 1 green. 3 reds, 1 green.
Copy.
All right.
Tactical from contact
3 reds,
2.
1
We're going to
green.
Now we're just
relocate
waiting,
injured to
I'm just
the
waiting for you guys to let me know where
control
the
point.
RTFs.
Yep.
They're when-
Copy.
So they're going to go to room 1, right?
Yep.
So, Sarge, as soon as you get a chance, if the CCP is secured, then you can let Chief Ham know, and he can send those RTFs now.
Tactical from contact team 3.
Go ahead. All units, room 1 is secured for CCP. 3 reds, 1 green.
I just heard on my channel that room 1 is secured, ready for we can send out the RTFs. Is that okay, Bill?
Yep, that's good.
Perfect.
All right, so command,
triage to
send
the
in more of
staging.
These
ahead.
RTFs to that.
So
room 1,
triage
right?
will take care of the
3
RTFs.
RTF teams
Command will
to
start
room
just
number
getting
1.
additional
3
resources
RTF
to
teams
staging,
can go
like
to room
mutual
number
aid
1. It
units.
has been
Handles,
secured.
I wanted 3 more contact teams. Is that me or is
Yes.
that from command?
Yes. So if you want more contact teams, so you're handling everything that goes on the inner perimeter. Command is just taking care of outer perimeter.
Okay.
So if you want another contact team for that AEP security or any of that, you just call into staging and tell them to go ahead and deploy those contact teams.
Okay.
Each RTF, if you want to have your team leader click on your chips and move them over. So the belt room 1, the courthouse is over here. And then RTFs, you can start working through the stack of casualties they've got and then give triage your update.
Triage from rescue task number 2.
No, you just walked over that way.
Go ahead. Who's calling?
Ken.
Traffic for triage.
Triage rescue task force number 2 have 1 red.
So for the purpose of the scenario, my chips.
RTF2
What I do with
confirming you have 1 red.
I got to get them to the AEP.
That's correct.
I guess we don't know where that is.
Division is en route, gang units en route, and for him just to let you know when he's ready to turn the scene over to them.
Okay. Would be on the northwest corner.
Yeah, fill it out.
That's really the only intel I got from dispatch and from command or from tactical.
So would you do it?
Thanks, Intel.
Every hour brief?
Okay, roger that.
Next brief
You know
would
what?
be?
Could you give me that updated casualty count again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
I had 2 green, 8 red last.
2 green, 8
That was
red.
5
Okay,
minutes
that
ago.
confirms what Troy said.
Okay.
So one of the things you may think about is right now you don't have any engine companies, Jason.
Yeah.
You've used them all. Maybe keep a couple extra in staging for what may pop up next. So you can either call medical and ask them to order more resources, or you could call dispatch directly and say, hey, give me 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever engine, how many more engine companies you think you need. And the same thing with you, Officer Malik, is, you're down to 1, 2, 3, 4 law enforcement officers in staging. If you're comfortable with that, that's fine. But if you thought you might need more police officers based on what you're hearing on the radio, you could go ahead and call directly to dispatch
To
and get
staging.
some more police officers into staging. Does that make sense?
Time for 4 more
Yes,
engines
it does.
to staging.
I think we should get at least 4 more law enforcement.
Yeah, I agree. So just on channel 1, just
Triage.
click your mouse, call dispatch, and say, hey, send me
That 4 contact 1 to
5 more,
dispatch.
law enforcement
2
officers.
members from contact team 1 be meeting up with perimeter and securing the suspect.
And we're going to give a little PIO briefing here. There's Michael and there's Robert. I'll get out of your all's way. All right, Michael.
Hello, I'm Mike Potia. I'm the Public Information Officer for this incident.
17 years old, wearing a white and red T-shirt with blue jeans. If anybody does see this individual, he is no longer at the scene. He's left the scene. Please notify local law enforcement. Do not approach. Do not attempt to apprehend. Currently, there is no active threat at the scene. At this time, we have approximately 2 dead, 4 injured, and more than 50 survivors. We're working hard at this time to reunite survivors with loved ones and provide information to families as quickly as possible. This is a complex incident and is going to take some time. I would like to introduce Interstate Commander Sergeant Robert Wilford, who will briefly answer a few questions.
Good morning, Sergeant Williford. I would like to say first that this deeply affects our community.
Do you believe there may be a gang problem in our community?
That is not part of this investigation. We're concentrating on this incident that happened today. Next question.
Social media is telling us that there was an officer shot and killed. Can you confirm that?
There were no officers shot and killed. Next question.
Are there any witnesses?
Yes, there are several witnesses that are being spoken to or debriefed by police officers and investigators. Next question.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill. Contact teams did a great job reacting to a large amount of information as well as stimulus. I'm going to ask Kevin to go ahead and highlight or fill us in on what he saw, what he did, what he heard. Kevin?
All right. I linked up with contact team number 1, got a debrief from him. We were given information that building 9, that there was an active shooter in the building. We secured our area. We linked back up with contact 1, moved everybody into that area, created a CCP. My team then secured the AEP and waited for the RTFs to come in.
Thanks, Ken. All right, Kevin, over to you for tactical triage and transport.
Hey, thanks, Bill. All right, so we will start off with tactical. Jeff, why don't you give us a rundown on what you were working on from the tactical position?
Sure. Initially, we got the call that there was an active shooter. We had contact team 1 arrive at building 5 in the cafeteria. They reported 3 red, 2 green. We immediately started to establish a casualty collection point, which contact 1 and 2 secured in the cafeteria. From there, contact team 1 was able to maintain the cafeteria while contact team 2 established an AEP in the delivery area, so we get that secured for triage and transport to go ahead and start doing their thing.
Patients hitting those benchmarks, how quickly the CCP and AEPs were, established, secured, really made for a great end result here, getting those patients transported pretty quickly.
It was nice having transportation right next to me so we could just verbally talk.
As far as transport goes, things went very smooth because Tactical had both a CCP and an AEP established when Dave and I both arrived.
You guys had all patients transported at the 23-minute mark, which is a real good time frame, and that just kind of goes to show how everybody was working together as a team. Bruce?
Well, that was my first role in the staging position here, and it's definitely a lot of information and a lot to digest, trying to anticipate the needs of the individuals on scene, and then trying to find the resources to form contact teams, rescue task force, etc.
Job of getting the units deployed, setting up the RTFs fairly fast, and then as soon as we talked about setting up a triage and transport units, then Chief 100 called for those, and we got those sent out.
One of the other things that I really thought went well, Chief Hans, particularly with your conversations, when they called for that mass amount of ambulances, you took it upon yourself to kind of just send 1 or 2 at a time. And I really think that's a really good practice, not to stack our ambulances at the ambulance exchange point. Even though they have security, roll them in, get them out, then roll that next one in. I thought that was fantastic.
The room, we talked with the contact team that was in the cafeteria with us. They let us know what they had going on, that the CCP was secure and they were working on making AEP. So once that happened, we were able to get a quick count on our triage and let triage and transport know what we had. Once the AEP was secured, we called for 2 ambulances to come in. They got there pretty quick, and we were able to get the casualties transported out.
So I came on scene, assumed command, set up a command post. Normally, we get our briefing from tactical. At that particular moment in time, tactical was actually pretty busy with the contact teams. The situation was active. So I just started scribbling notes. And as the radio situation cleared up, I would go ahead and interject questions to tactical at that point, and then confirm any information I received with my fire counterpart. We got our PIO and Intel online, and they began doing their jobs.
And Troy, where are you at, Troy? There you go, Troy, in the back. You arrived as Chief 100, soon medical branch. What you saw, what you did, any challenges?
I think it went pretty well. I mean, communications with staging was pretty good. Dispatch was on their A game. The only thing that I think I screwed up on is we never really assigned our location for triage when I got on scene. And probably I could have done a little more face-to-face with incident commander for his updating and stuff. But otherwise, I think the benchmarks were made.
Get those scribes out to you. Get that help at the command post, because you will be busy on the radio, and you want to be able to have those, brief up, brief downs, and sharing of information to where you guys can keep your situational awareness going.
Final word over to dispatch, Ashley and Adrian. Ashley, I think you were back on fireside. Any issues? Any problems?
Aside from some talking over on the radio, there really wasn't that many issues.
Okay, great. Adrian, how about you?
I think we all did pretty good. Just mainly hats off to Jeff on tactical. He did a great job at just facilitating everything, making sure everyone was communicating.
Tactical's a tough job. It's coming at you fast and furious. It's a lot to keep up with. You've got radio traffic, people trying to talk to you face-to-face, notes that need to be made. It is one of the most difficult jobs in this stack. But the reality is, if tactical, if tactical nails it and gets that everything moving quickly, you turn in some amazing numbers and can really do a great job with the clock. Jeff, would you agree that that's fair?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, especially you're listening to triage and transport in the room. You're also listening to staging and command, and you get a bunch of people moving around. It's very fluid. So, I've been fortunate to have that experience, and it made it a little bit easier. But it's definitely a good learning experience anytime you have it in a training environment.
Okay, any questions about either of the scenarios or the morning block before we break for lunch?